Well, with your permission, then I would like to switch it up and get into your blooming comedy career.
No.
All right.
It's my podcast now, motherfucker.
He's usurping the podcast. Okay. I don't know if I can allow that, but...
Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Well, as I understand it, you're still pretty new to comedy. Under 2 years, I want to say?
I started in Portugal last winter and just started taking it seriously in August.
Wow. That's insane, because you really wouldn't know it watching you perform. You seem like a seasoned veteran, and I was telling you before, I'm really not blowing smoke up your ass, but I do think you're going to be on like the Tonight Show or something in the near future. So everyone should be looking out, because I think you're on the rise here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, you have such a, like I said at the beginning, such a unique perspective and such a positive attitude. And I know you're saying you waver in that attitude sometimes, but at least what you're putting out on your social media, and it's very inspiring stuff, and you're hilarious. So, what else do you need? I think you got what it takes, man. So in that respect, though, was comedy something that you had contemplated doing for a long time, or was it sort of just on a whim that you were like, fuck it, let's try it, and kind of just rolled with it from there? Portugal, that's interesting. If you can sort of elaborate on that a little bit.
I never really seriously considered it. I was depressed one night, and I did write like 2 pages of jokes just to cheer myself up, and never did anything. And I went to Portugal much later, and I went to a charity comedy show, and I talked to all the comics later, and they are all like, you're fucking hilarious, you should come back and do it. And I'm like...
And now can you imagine your life without comedy, or is it something that you think like you're going to take it to the grave now?
I'll take it to the grave. My original thinking was like, oh, I don't want to do this as a career. It's just fun. And I thought it would like help me do the mental health stuff, like funnel people in and make it more funny. But nah, I'm a comedian now.
Fucking A. Right on. That's kind of what I was hoping you would say.
I'm seriously a comedian now. I used to be like, oh, I'm an amateur. But now I'm working every weekend. I've worked with Canadian legends. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's actually one of my questions coming up, but I'll go to that right now. I saw that you recently opened for Tom Green, and I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit more of that experience and how it felt.
Yeah, it was wild. It's hard to think of yourself as, I am a comedian. Like, who am I? I started this in August. But yeah, I opened for him all weekend and got invited to go to Toronto and do it again, and did that, and he thought I was funny, which is wild, man. It was great. He is a really good guy. He goes everywhere with his dog Charlie, and he has such a patience with his dog, like never gets at all irritated, and when you see a man who treats a dog like that, you know it's a good man. It was a wild experience.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I saw him posting about performing with you as well. You were on his page.
And he was super generous with the publicity too.
Yeah, and what you said about animals liking people, I think that's really a metric that you can measure someone by. That's a lot of women will be like, oh, does my dog like him? Okay, I'll go on a date with him. You hear that a lot in movies and stuff. But I think there's a real truth to that. Animals have sort of a sixth sense about people.
He was just so patient with his dog. When my dog doesn't listen, I will like raise my voice and get more assertive, but he never like was anything other than super patient. And that's what I'm always going to remember.
It's something to strive for, because I find the same thing with my dog. It's hard not to lose your shit sometimes. My dog will, if we run into another dog on a walk, we'll do the little dance, but then as soon as I want to keep walking, sometimes she'll jump up on me and kind of say, no, let's go back. And you feel kind of embarrassed, like you don't have control over your animal. And it's easy to lose your temper. That is something of note for sure. Well, I really wanted to bring up and ask you about the fact that you'll really impressively riff on stage and do crowd work and stuff like that. And obviously the audience will have to sort of wait in anticipation while you're typing something out. Was this something that took you like a while to get comfortable doing? Because many verbal comics can lob out a quick pun or joke, and if it doesn't really land, they can kind of gloss over it quickly. But for you, do you feel like you're kind of doubling down when you go for a moment like that? And I just want to know, what's your process for navigating the intricacies of riffing as a mute comic?
Yeah, I mean, the first joke I ever told was an ad lib. All the other comics were talking about their small dicks, and I got up, and I'm like, I thought I came to do comedy, but apparently I walked into a short dick support group.
Oh, that's awesome.
At the start, what I would do is I would watch the show, and I would prepare like, quote unquote, as libs, and I would do those, and I would try to keep typing to a minimum because of the silence or whatever. But now, like, I don't give a shit. I'll stop a show to type if it's funny, It just builds tension, and tension is good for comedy. And also I laugh at my own jokes while I type them, and people enjoy that anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. When I saw you perform, I found it really endearing, and it just pulls you in even more, seeing how excited you're getting about it. It's like, you're like, oh, I want to hear it now. Look how much fun he's having just typing it, you know?
Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe, and share this video to support me.